and Joe sit down to chat. New ideas spark, they can't be that. Podcast fun, fury so grand. Laughter flows, no need for a band. From life stories to wild speculations, each episode brings joy, makes you relaxations. Glaziar Gambol, we're off to explore. Laugh and learn, our show is forever. Incredible theories, side by side. Joyful moments we'll never hide.
Hey, man.
That's not bad. Yeah, when my lighting changes. Well, no, I have like warm lighting in here, I guess. I should get like.
I'm very blue right now. But I have a blue water bottle, blue hat, blue headphones, blue shirt. Goodness. I should just put a red S on the phone. That's what I should have done. That would be for the bit. I would grab my spray paint or a marker right now, ruin the shirt.
Should have done like just prepped like 43 lines, and we'll just do that over the course of like 4 podcasts. People be screaming for Zack Snyder to be back.
Which doesn't make any sense now because Superman was so good. Which, speaking of which, that's why you're here, because you heard everything about Superman is popular. This is the Glaziar Gambol podcast for now. Tenant asterisk. We saw Superman. We wanted to tell you.
Glaziar Gambol. Oh wait, that's the wrong.
The
new Gambol.
The Gamble of Glaziars, the MCU direct podcast. Yeah. Anyway, we are here to talk Superman and how fantastic it was or terrible. You guys saw the reviews. You guys saw the reaction of people online, so you probably know. Yeah, it was very good. I'm not going to exaggerate when I say if Fantastic Four, when it comes out, if it is very good or as good as Superman, this is the best year in comic book projects since 2018, where we had Black Panther, Infinity War, Ant-Man and the Wasp. We had a lot of good comic book movies that year. If Fantastic Four is as good as Superman, this is the best year in comic book projects since then.
Sure.
So yeah, not gonna hold back anything or like let you like tease you on what we thought about the movie. I'm letting you know right away. This movie was fantastic. It was just refreshing. I've seen a lot of it.
That is the word I would use as well.
Yeah, it's not just the brightness. Obviously, you made a joke about Zack Snyder and how, 43 lines, a very dark movie. Yeah, very different from Zack Snyder's Superman, which is the goal, because that wasn't working for the audience. This is clearly working. There's a reason why it needed to change. Superman is supposed to be a beacon of hope. That's literally what he is.
Yeah.
That's what he should be, and that's what it felt like. We got to see him go through. It wasn't an origin story, but it was the door opening to his like superhero-dom. Like he finally felt like he was embracing what we imagine Superman should be. It was like the origin of him turning into that. So even though he has already been quote unquote Superman for 3 years,
right?
It felt like, as the audience, I've seen a lot of people say, it felt like you were dropped in the middle, like we missed the beginning. Well, that was the point. They didn't want an origin story. But even though you missed those first 3 years, with everything they gave you, you didn't need that because of the projection, the story that we've seen this Superman go through already. It didn't need that origin story. It felt like it already to me, and I really enjoyed that about it.
Sure, and we know a lot of that.
Right.
We knew about Lex's obsession with him. Like that's never been like a surprise to people, for people to know Lex's obsession, which I think that Nicholas Hoult did a fantastic job in that obsession
with super shit.
With super shit and all the all that. Just in general, like the cloning and and the studying the fight moves and like all of that. Speaking of which, the spoiler ban is like apparently over now because like it was over basically like 5 minutes after the movie debuted. So
yeah. So for we obviously haven't spoiled anything yet, but for the future of this episode, spoiler warning: if you haven't seen the movie yet, we just told you how good it is. Go see it, then come back to this.
Right.
So yeah, for the forever of this episode, rest of it, spoiler warning. You've been warned.
Sure. And you know all that, and I think the Lex Luthor you get in other projects, whether it's you know, Superman and Lois or the Zack Snyder, like Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, whatever, is very like a build up to that Lex Luthor to where Nicholas Hoult is.
Yeah.
So I'm glad it's like you just get all that. Like it just it you know it happens, and instead of like building up to that, it's already kind of happened. And I think
Sure.
that like with the Superman origin story, that also already happened. So like we've seen all these things and the build up parts of it in like, you know, the origin stories and then like the prior Lex Luthor stuff. We got all that before the priors, and now it's like you're right, you're kind of smack dab into it. And so like if you know a little bit about Superman, you don't need to know a lot, but
you know, speaking of Lex Luthor, you know how you enjoy like tweeting as if you're in the universe of
yeah. Well, it's like what the boys do. What the boys do, and like
I saw some doing that with Luthor Core. People, our CEO has been wrongfully arrested.
Oh sure.
Yeah, and so
because most of the time it's LexCorp. Most of the time it's LexCorp in universes. But same thing like James Gunn, understanding that it's a different universe. Like we're gonna do Luthor Core. So,
well,
you know,
and that way, if it did end up do a different universe, it doesn't have to be Lex Luthor. It can be a different form.
Yeah.
Something else Luthor.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That could work.
So,
but yeah, I saw that. I figured you'd enjoy that. I was like, I wonder if you noticed that, but people getting into it that way, and I definitely retweeted. I was like, you gotta act like you're involved in the universe because it felt like you were part of it.
Yeah, I love that kind of thing. It's really really relevant in like the boys universe, like Vought Industries and the Starlighters, and like we're for Homelander and vice versa. Like those are. That's really fun too, because Vought straight up. I mean, and it's a whole like meme show, right? Like it takes things from the world and like what's going on. So,
which they did, being involved in the universe, they did a really good job of making the characters feel real and believable. Like the obviously the passionate speech given by Lex at the end, where he talks about his envy and how it's his calling, and then the ending of it, the A1 or 1A1.
Yeah, that means that's the first move that he wanted to do and programmed was a punch to the face.
Yeah, and so like you felt the full breadth of the pocket universe, what he's willing to go through. You really feel the breadth of and depth of Lex Luthor's character, and then the picking people you wouldn't recognize to play Clark's parents, his Earth parents,
right,
made it feel like you were genuinely, you know, interested in their story. It felt like something that could have happened. It humanized him more. You got the relationship side with Lois Lane. You got his work side a little bit. And then you also got, you know, obviously the Superman, the Kal-El. You got his parental like video, his voice recording from his parents was the plot of the movie. Building that character world makes you want to immerse into it, and by creating a DCU starting off so strongly where you want to be involved, I think that's kind of the like laying the foundation of this is how we want our DCU movies to feel, because we want you to be, you know, when obviously growing up in the 90s, I loved watching, you know, Pokemon. And I was like, I wish Pokemon were real. I want to be in that universe when I was a little kid. Now, when I imagine if I'm a little kid watching these comic book movies, I would imagine you want to create a product that makes you go, I want to be in these. Kind of like when you originally read the comics, you wish you could be in the universe.
Right.
When people watch these movies, I feel like this was a good showing of, if this is what they're all like, you're going to want the DCU to feel real or be real. And I think they did a good job overall building that with it. Basically, every character had some sort of beyond surface level knowledge provided to you. And everything I've seen from this movie, like people talking about it, something different is being talked about every time the topic comes up. Like I load up my feed and people are talking Superman. Oh, they're talking about Clark Kent's parents. I load up the feed like the next day. Oh, today they're talking about Mr. Terrific and how amazing he was. And then the next day it's like, oh, I'm sorry, Nathan Fillion.
Right.
And so like every day has been a different. Oh, Nicholas Hoult is he one of the best actors of our generation?
Yeah, is he on the Mount Rushmore for villains I've seen? Like,
right. Every day has been something different that people love. And I told my wife how excited I've been to record this episode and how I was almost like physically like shaking in excitement when we were sitting there watching Superman and then thinking about Fantastic Four as well.
Yeah, dude. I
don't
mean it like with how just like Mr. Fantastic is my favorite character, and to finally get it in an MCU project, like I might cry.
Right. Yeah, dude. It's
like,
and like,
so,
you know, the fun part about doing YouTube or podcasts, you know, is being there and like open to people, you know, not might share things or overshare things, but like to cut a vein with you people listening right now and like hearing it, like, like for the people that are listening, especially at this point, you know, we're already 10 minutes in. A lot of people are done at that point, but for those that like are, life can be very difficult. And you know, I know like these first few months of the year are like the highest depression months. I think May is one of the biggest ones. You know,
mine's still going. So
yeah, it's like, you know, it's a 12 months a year, and you know, we both obviously
the first 12 months.
We're human beings and we feel dark emotional thoughts, and the state of the world can be a little scary at points, you know, with whatever you want, whatever comes up on your feed or news, whether it be war or anything or something within the country that people are upset about. I feel like a large part of another reason why I'm loving this movie, and I'm just I've been so excited for these movies, is like a need of, like when we both said refreshing, like a genuine need for some positivity, whether that's just in the theaters or just in general. And this movie felt so like triumphant that the positivity kind of like leaks out of the movie. And I feel like I'm seeing a lot of positivity online. I myself have been like, God, like this movie makes you feel good when you're all said and done. Like it feels like, yeah, like that was Superman. And obviously that was Superman.
Yeah, the only like, this is honestly the only gripe I have. And I said this pretty early in regards to we talked about Ironheart, you know, the last time. And I got that out. The only gripe I had was the format. The only gripe I have with Superman, and it's very understandable because this is like the first movie of the DCU and you want it to be more family friendly and stuff, is they had to have tamed Guy Gardner down a little bit. That's my only gripe.
Yeah, for sure.
That's my only gripe. And I saw something that you know, when he wanted to like kill him or something like that, when they wanted to kill the kaiju, and Guy Gardner was like, "Oh, don't be a wuss."
Yeah.
Apparently, he was supposed to say like, "Don't be a pussy."
Right. And when I was thinking back in my head at the movie, in my head, that's what he said. Like when I was trying to remember what he had said, in my head, he did say, "Don't be a pussy."
Right. And that would have been more Guy Gardner. So I think they did tame Guy Gardner down a little bit.
To make it more family friendly.
To make it more family friendly. But like, you're also going to get Guy Gardner in Peacemaker.
Right.
And then you're probably going to get Guy Gardner in the Lanterns series. So
Guy Gardner and Peacemaker will give you exactly what you want.
Right. And I think you're gonna get that. You're gonna get kind of that Guy Gardner that you expect.
It's just how far they're willing to go. Are they going to go similar to like Peacemaker season 1 ridiculous, or are they going to go like The Boys ridiculous with Guy Gardner? Like what are they going to do?
I think definitely like he's got to be a little bit more vulgar.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of him. And you know, it was great seeing him and fitting him into this movie, especially because you need a lantern, and you already have like Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan. Probably roles going to be a little bit reversed for Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart, being as Jon Stewart's the younger one and Hal Jordan's kind of like 40, 50. At least for the Lantern series.
Sure.
So like, yeah, and then you got Guy Gardner in there kind of too. So yeah, that's my only gripe, is that like, as much as I liked Guy Gardner, it wasn't truly Guy Gardner, like in my mind, Guy Gardner. Like he wasn't allowed to like be Guy Gardner a little bit. But I also understand it as like, it's your first movie. You don't want to like turn people away, especially in the first act, because you're going to say like, don't be a pussy, you know? So,
right.
Like, so that's it. Like, that's my only gripe. So,
yeah,
that's my only negative. Yeah. And then like, we'll talk about these characters later, but like I Mr. Terrific kind of stole the show for the Justice Gang. So like,
yeah,
Guy Gardner and Hawk Girl. I wish they had a little bit more.
Yeah,
a little bit more.
I do,
and it was kind of even throughout. But you know, Mr. Terrific did great. So
I also agree that seeing a little bit more of Hawk Girl and Guy Gardner would have been. I think when I'm trying to think of what I dislike, honestly, it would be up there.
Sure.
But also, I would say my next would be like Ultraman's okay. Like not, like just okay. You know,
yeah.
It doesn't blow you away, but you already have Lex Luthor, so you don't need something to take away from his showing out.
Right. That's straight up out of the comics too.
Right.
And,
exactly.
And a lot of the and like, like if you also, if you knew a little bit, like Superman and then Ultraman,
right,
that has like the same strength as him. Like you could have connected the dots as well. And then I saw a cool theory regarding him, is that you didn't see him die, you just see him go through that black hole, right?
Sure.
You see him go through that black hole, and a lot of people think that like he could come back as like Bizarro in the future. Oh
yeah, for sure.
So yeah,
which I could see that, because with the push of their like DC mobile game that just came out,
right?
Bizarro is very popular in that, which often creates fans outside of the game. So bringing things from games or other media into it are smart. So I could see that.
Sure.
But with I wanted to go back to like the Hawk Girl,
the Justice Gang.
Yeah, you mentioned it the day we watched the movie, that somebody had told you that they didn't see the need for Hawk Girl, and I had mentioned as well that like, oh yeah, I had heard that too. Like people were saying Hawk Girl felt unnecessary. But if you think Hawk Girl's unnecessary, then I would say Green Lantern's also unnecessary.
Right. Here's something I
thought they were both good and in a decent enough amount, but it could have been more.
So if I recall correctly, and I may be mistaken, but when a Hawk Girl dies, I believe they are reincarnated into a new being. And so I believe that this is a fairly new Hawk Girl, trying to kind of understand the age range that she is. Because as obviously like Isabella Merced is like probably in her 20s, like this character is probably in her 20s and very young in regards to like being Hawk Girl.
Sure.
So yeah, I'm
probably get more of her in Supergirl,
but like she's also going to be in Peacemaker too. So
okay,
like they both are. They're both the Guy Gardner, and they're probably doing an interview for the Justice Gang. To be honest, that's what might be my guess.
Oh sure.
So
do you think Metamorpho will be involved?
I don't know. We'll see if he shows up. But like the
Peacemaker
season 2, right? In the Peacemaker season 2 trailer, they're like interviewing him, and they're like in like one of those detective rooms where like they can see through the glass, but you can't see through the glass. And then they like leave the mic open and they're like talking trash, and then like Peacemaker's like, I can still hear you guys, and they're like, oh shit, like
Okay.
yeah, but
Sure. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, if our only gripe is that you probably could have got a little bit more of the Justice Gang and not like super hyper focused on Mr. Terrific, even though he did great. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
they could have been a little bit more. That's pretty good.
But otherwise, honestly, I loved like every aspect. Even if there were things that happened during the movie that I would have done differently, I still enjoyed the way that they chose to do it. I feel like I was really glad that we got some clarification on like the pocket universe, like the people that were in there. But I felt like with what had been happening with the split, that those people should have been involved in like the giant scene. It was weird to me that those people that were trapped in the pocket dimension weren't dealt with until after the split.
Right.
It just
Right.
felt like in my head I would have liked for them to have, you know,
Perished.
dealt with it
I mean,
or perished. But
yeah.
obviously I would have rather they dealt with it during the big fight. Like maybe
It
that's
sounded-
what
yeah,
somebody else was doing. Like maybe that's what Green Lantern, one of the things he was doing, or somebody else was doing while Superman was dealing with Ultraman, all that. Anyway, like,
Sure.
but even though that's the way I would have wanted it, the way it actually worked in the creation of the movie and like the pacing, the way they did it is probably better.
Right.
It's just, you know,
Yeah, I mean, with how they were trying to escape that pocket universe and how much they had to like deal with the black hole, you'd think that it was kind of like deteriorating.
sure. Yeah.
And so yeah, I could definitely see that. Like all those people could have been like, you could have told me all those people were dead.
Yeah.
And I would have been like, okay, like that sucks, but like, I guess like,
But the
so-
problem is you had to keep Eve alive, or you
I don't think she was there yet though.
Okay.
In that first time when he like used his frost breath to like push him and Metamorpho and the baby and Crypto out of it.
Oh, see, I thought she was there during the big split.
But then they got out of it and then they split, and then it split because they got out of it and then Mr. Terrific shut that side down, and then Lex Luthor reopened it up, and that's what caused the tear. So the first time around, I thought that pocket universe was destroyed, but then apparently there were survivors, so like they got out of it. So,
and then I did one thing for me that was like a question mark, because again, like I mentioned last week, that if I don't know it, I'm just gonna, you know, call it out. I'm not super familiar with Metamorpho.
sure.
So his involvement in the movie wasn't a like a hell yes moment for me. It was just like,
Right.
who is this new guy?
Right. More of a, I don't know, it definitely like just straight up resembled Absorbing Man
Yeah.
for me. Absorbing Man in the Marvel side of things, where like if he touches an object, he can turn into that object, and now it's very Metamorpho esque. And so I think it was definitely just it was definitely a piece to just move the plot along, but also like you're trapping someone in there. You're trapping Metamorpho in there with his kid. And then you're basically just telling him like, hey, like we're going to trap you right across from your kid, but at the same time, like just do this for me because.
And
Like,
we're gonna
just-
put you in a case that's can easily be broken out by Superman.
Right. So like if you were to like just hold that kryptonite forever until like I
It's one
need
of
you.
those moments where you think arrogance from Lex Luthor's part, but also he does the math in his head, and in his head it's like, oh, it's an 80-some% chance that
He's
this
not gonna
guy
turn on me.
doesn't turn on him because of his son. So I'm taking that 15% risk.
Right.
And then he
So-
also probably thinks, you know, he might die from being stuck in the kryptonite that long anyway.
Right. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I know people
also it
freaked
was,
out
like,
about
just,
Crypto immediately, like in the trailers. Crypto was fine. He actually
I
was a
thought
huge,
Crypto
like
was
part of the plot.
really good. I think Crypto was really good, and Crypto was also like like not only did you fit him into the plot, but he also lead like at the end, and we'll talk about that later. But like he also leads into what's next,
And
like
able
not
to
only
add
like
humor without there being shticky.
yeah, yeah.
When he
So
when he slammed him in the beginning of the movie,
yeah, it's hilarious.
God, I couldn't help but laugh. I like felt bad at how hard I laughed. That was good. Oh
Right,
man,
yeah. And David Cornswell did great there too. Just, oh
he
yeah,
did.
like he's got 12. Like he's got. Oh, I think it was like he had
Broken
12
ribs
broken
and-
bones. Yeah,
Yeah.
12 broken bones and like his
Blood in his lungs.
right.
Crypto's tackling him.
He's so
And
excited.
then, yeah, obviously you see why at the end because Supergirl came in and
right.
find
He's
out
just
that
a
that's
good
her
boy,
dog.
man. Yeah.
Which, so I don't want to be stupid, but I mean, if I turn out looking stupid, that's fine. Did we know Supergirl was going to be in it?
Here's the thing. They instantly went from filming Superman into filming Supergirl. So like they're already filming Supergirl. So like, and if it's in the similar location, like if they're doing any scenes in Metropolis, you probably would just want to film those same scenes, right? Like
Sure.
so like I know it's probably going to be a lot of off-world, like a little bit off-world because like you're going to have Lobo,
Well, she's on a planet with a red sun.
right? And so like she's going to run into Lobo somewhere, like she's going to run into Jason Momoa's Lobo. So like
Sure. Probably in the Minecraft world.
right, exactly, or Aquaman. And so yeah, you're gonna get that somewhere, but also like you got to imagine that like to keep it relevant, you're gonna have a scene with like Kal-El. You're gonna have a scene with like Superman.
And you also have to. Do you think they really picked a name as big as Bradley Cooper to play the role he played in one movie?
Yeah, I don't know.
That felt like such a out of place big name,
Right.
for a role that he could have done in a day. Like he was
Right.
probably not even on set.
Yeah. See the a lot of people are saying that like and James Gunn has kind of said this too, where like saying that Kara Zor-El is a mess. Like Supergirl's a mess. So that being said, a lot of people are like, oh well, Supergirl's nothing like she's been betrayed before, like the one in the Flash was very like stoic and like very Superman-esque, like very like do good, fight people, kind of badass.
Right.
And then like the CW one was kind of closer, kind of a little bit closer to like how this one's gonna be, I would imagine. But like they're very different, and so like I think James Gunn's even in just the two little snippets of like or like the snippet of her at the end showed that they're very different.
So this is with all respect to Millie Alcock, because respect.
Sure.
I saw somebody make a comment of, do you think her being drunk at the awards was the why she got the part? And that did make me chuckle, because obviously that was probably an embarrassing moment at those award shows, but the drunk Supergirl, when she like comes busting through, and then her interaction with Crypto and the interaction you get with Superman and 4 during that time. Or what does 4 want to be called? Gary. So
Alan Tudyk.
Yes, between Superman and Gary, that was hilarious. But like getting her, it was a perfect little view of what we're gonna get from her. She likes to go to Red Suns because she wants to get drunk. She has a dog that is like untrained or whatever to show she's not responsible. Like they're doing everything you can to show like she is out of control.
Yeah, and she's gonna have to kind of like grow up. I think like in her movie she's gonna have to grow up.
I know this is like the whole point of probably the movie or show, everything, but with her. But what can make an invincible, powerful woman like that on Earth or some other planet? What could make her grow up? Because she kind of can just do whatever. She acts like she can do whatever she wants.
Right.
It's always got to be a close death, and you can't have it be taking Crypto, because we just did that.
Yeah, right. I think going back to Jor-El and like the like what happened with Krypton. Everyone says that like they have two very different experiences of what happened on Krypton, or like what happened with them. I guess like I don't know how exactly it goes, but I think like Kara was like not on planet when it destroyed or something like that. But then
Okay.
like Kal-El was, but then like the timelines don't match. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to explain, but they have very different upbringings, and so that could also lead to like why she's a little bit more unruly, and Clark is a more ruly, I guess. But they also could have had different messages too. Like I don't know, like I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't expect I don't expect like Crypto to like I don't expect them to do anything to Crypto. But at the same time, like Lobo's gonna beat her ass. Like like she's gonna get her ass kicked at some point, and she's gonna have a grow up moment. I mean, like Superman got his ass kicked, and with these like invincible characters like Superman or Supergirl, like she's not gonna have the yellow sun.
And James Gunn did say that he wants these characters to feel like nerfed versions of their comic book selves. Like he doesn't want Superman to seem as strong as he is in the comics.
Right. Well, yeah,
Unless
he can turn back time by moving around the Earth fast enough. Like
right, how long it took him to
Earth,
get to Antarctica would have been like 15 seconds shorter in the comics.
Right. No.
That's how fast he is. It's just insane. But I still think that they're out. It's like I wasn't sure how to phrase it, but I really think that they are going to make her seem weak, similar how they made Superman feel like he was weak at certain points, and that is going to be like obviously in more of a what can be taken from her. I think the only way that can really flip her is like dying, some form of near death, like not necessarily like get the ship out of her like you said, but making her feel like an out of control moment seems to me like she loses all control. I feel like that would be the best way. I'm not sure. I'm excited to see what it could be. I'm also really excited to see what else we're gonna get from the DC. This is like such an awesome start to the DCU.
And you're very like you're going cosmic to cosmic. You know what I mean? Like, granted, Superman was a very like Earth central story, but she's gonna be out in space. Like she's gonna be out in space. You're gonna see some of these other planets. You're gonna see Lobo, who's like a space mercenary-esque, no filter kind of guy. And so where you have like a very family movie, like this one's got to have like you gotta pull back a little bit. You gotta let them like take the brakes off for a little bit here. You can't just have like you can have family movie after family movie after family movie. Like that's kind of what made Marvel a little stagnant too. Like Marvel had to kind of grow up and give us a little bit more maturity.
Sure,
it's not all for kids. Like there's adults too. So
yeah, but this was definitely what we wanted right now. And one thing I definitely don't want to forget to mention, they did a perfect Lois Lane. The chemistry they have on screen, off screen, the character, the way she was written, just everything. They did like a perfect job of casting that. Jimmy was just like I feel like
also like
a James Gunn character.
Yeah,
he just felt like a James Gunn character. It was just very awesome to have a love story in a comic book movie that fit the plot, that didn't take away from the story itself, didn't ever make you roll your eyes, I guess. Sometimes you get that. Like there are times when you're watching Sam Raimi's Spider-Man movies where MJ and Peter's argument kind of make you roll your eyes.
Well, I mean, MJ went and got with his best friend. I mean,
it was so like that.
No, they did
love
a really good
story
job
is
of just
meh,
portraying
but
a relationship where like you have fights and disagreements, and you maybe have this little like gray area where you're not talking as much, but you're still together, and like that's kind of where what they did, and like
Yeah.
you know, it was a very good like him getting pressed about something he's very passionate about and very like defensive for, and like that happens. Like,
Yeah.
that
And you got
happens.
humor in there during that as well.
Right. Super shit.
Super
come
shit.
on, Lois. You know that one gets me. I don't really
Yeah.
read that stuff. I don't really read that stuff.
I heard my first person talking about it today that said that their least favorite thing about it was the unnecessary humor. And I thought that was ridiculous. I thought the amount of humor in there was awesome.
You know who's doing the movie. You know who's producing the movie. It's a James Gunn movie.
Right. And there's humor in everything. Like, obviously,
I thought it was a brilliant first movie of the universe that like also is very family friendly. Like it's very family friendly, but also like it's something you can get behind. And like my biggest gripe is because Guy Gardner said wuss instead of pussy. Like that's that's my biggest gripe. Like
right. Yeah.
and I understand you do that to kind of, and especially because that all happened in the first act, like first 10 minutes, maybe like first 15 minutes, like he goes and he fights the kaiju within like 15 minutes. Like, so like, you don't want to like ruin the taste of a movie for like parents who bring their kids,
right?
By just dropping that off the bat. So I understand.
And the
like if that was
action
in the third act, and they're fighting a giant kaiju, Guy Gardner could say that and it'd be perfectly fine.
Sure.
It's like you're saying shit, or Kara's saying thanks for watching my dog, bitch. Like
right.
You get that, right? And so if you did that in the third act, it would have been, I think, better received. But I understand not like dropping that right off the rip. So
sure. I thought the action scenes did a good job of staying family friendly because they felt brutal. Especially like
they could have been, right? Like Ultraman, like a 97% match Superman versus Superman, like that'd be just a freaking bloodbath.
Right.
That's what it would be, right?
But with
and
how hard he was slamming Ultraman, or like with
right.
It still felt brutal where an adult can be like, wow, this is intense. But because you don't have it like gruesome when it could be,
right.
It makes it family friendly but still enjoyable for adults. It was just a really good mix of both.
Right. Yeah.
In like every aspect. It wasn't obviously the romance scenes. There wasn't anything that was like unkid friendly. The action scenes, right. The dialogue, everything was like perfectly done. It was just I was avoiding using the word perfect, but there was a couple things in this movie that was just it was super. And like the selfies, I thought it was pretty obvious before that the characters in the movie realized what she was doing.
Sure.
I was like, well, clearly she's when she said, I'm going to send you this thing that's going to take down Lex. And then it turns out to be all selfies. I was like, well, the last time we saw her taking a selfie was when Ultraman, she's like in the headquarters with Ultraman fighting. So clearly she's taking selfies during important times.
Right.
So before they explained, I thought that was pretty obvious. They tried to put it off as it was like a twist. I was like, no, that was very clear what she was doing. It was not a mistake to send selfies. She did it on purpose. Let's get going. But, you got to have stuff like that. Not everything can be like perfectly unpredictable. God. And then there was the I love, lighting, score, all that stuff. And there was a moment during this movie where the hair on the back of my neck stood up, the hair on my arm stood up. I could feel it like where my knees are, like that hair was like standing up. And it was when they played the orchestral version of his theme.
Sure.
Oh,
Did they do that when he was fighting like the raptors or whatever? Yeah,
and then the horns come in. On that, oh my god, it was so.
I mean, that was the biggest hell yeah right there,
dude.
When he was fighting the raptors, because they're like raptors, get in there and stop him. And he's like, good luck with that. And then he just goes, Superman, like God tier. I'm gonna spin around and I'm gonna laser you all in half, and like you're all android robots. Like I could be brutal with you guys.
Yeah.
So.
But his. Triumphant. That's just that sound. Those horns, those trumpets that you hear. Jeez, the score was perfect. The soundtrack choices, as always with James Gunn, were just on point. Ugh, man, I was so happy when this movie was done. Like I felt joy.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
felt like
I
such
agree.
like a kid who opened a Christmas present and it was the exact thing he wanted. Like
Sure.
I'm opening my Christmas present. Oh, I opened an Xbox controller, but I
Yeah.
haven't gotten an Xbox yet.
Right.
Wait a
Right.
second.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and when I was like, as the movie's going on, I'm like, this is my Xbox controller,
Sure.
and I know that the DCU is itself is the Xbox,
Yeah.
and oh, I'm so happy.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
usually give a score 1 out of 10.
There's one more thing I actually want to
Oh,
talk about.
yeah, go for it, man.
And now I, I, you know, with Mr. Terrific's involvement,
Yeah,
right? Like you have, and this the
signed a
Justice Hall,
multi-movie
or
deal as well.
right. So like he'll be back. Guy Gardner will be back. Obviously, Hawk Girl will be back. But they all worked for Lord Tech.
Yeah,
They all work for Lord Tech, and you get a very small snippet at the end of Maxwell Lord, played by Sean Gunn. Maxwell Lord, played by Sean Gunn, that basically was like, it's like who's the rival to Luther, because they're both tech companies, and you get this small clip where he's like, well, God forbid he's locked away, or I don't know what he says, right? But he obviously is cheering for the fact that Luther is being, like, this is his rise, you know, like
sure.
like Luther Corps is
It's
going
his
to be
chance.
like tanking, right? And the Justice Gang essentially work for Lord Tech. Now, I wonder the stipulations. That's not the right word. The repercussions of them going to stop the Baravian army. Like that had to be like not by Maxwell Lord's decree, I guess. You know, like I bet Superman inspired them to give a shit. That's
Or
what I
this
think.
is Maxwell Lord's because of he saw what was going on. This was his chance to swoop in to
Kind of be
show
the
the
savior,
government like this is what Luther was
his.
doing. Look at what you get with me.
Right.
We can make a public war statement, but show
I
that
sent the Justice Gang to stop it.
yeah,
Possibly.
Luther doesn't want metahumans. I
Right.
embrace them, and look how much more successful we are.
Sure. Yeah. So I mean, you get that very brief snippet, but you don't get any like clarification, because that's the first time you see Maxwell Lord in the DCU. So
I heard at least 3 people like scoff laugh when the Sean Gunn popped up.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, we got a couple people in this theater that either are sick of seeing James Gunn's like circle of people in movies, or they weren't expecting to see Sean Gunn,
Right.
or his face just makes them laugh.
I mean, it's directly correlated to the plot. Like
Yeah.
They mentioned Lord Tech multiple times. So
Yeah. And honestly,
yeah.
like, good. Nobody gets mad at Adam Sandler for putting all of his friends in his movies.
Right. Rob Schneider, David Spade.
People like a lot of directors want to work with specific people. Tarantino loves working with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Right. Raimi, and yeah,
I
Raimi
just-
did that. So.
Yeah.
They all do. Right.
Palm was in this movie.
Right.
Small part. It's like just because has his friends playing small parts, people want to get mad. Or if they play big parts, like obviously Maxwell Lord will be coming back, so it's a multi-project deal. Who cares? They're playing the characters well. The reason that they might be friends is because they all see movies, and like the vision that they have for what they want a movie to be is probably similar. So I don't get what the deal is. It's not like
Right. Sure.
is David Cornsweet is part of his deal? No. He still hired the right guy for the main roles, right people
Right.
for the main roles. So maybe he's hiring the right people for these other roles. And it's not like he's going to have Sean Gunn be the side character in Peacemaker and also
Right.
have Palm be a side character and Margot Robbie be a side. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Sure.
Also, those people are good actors.
Right.
Nathan Fillion's very good. He is quite the range.
Very comic book guy, and he's got what is his name? Kumail Nanjiani.
Yeah.
He's gonna be playing Booster Gold. So whenever we get
I
Booster
can't
Gold,
think of Kumail Nanjiani without being sad about Eternals.
right, yeah, Kingo.
I just wish Eternals was the sequel didn't get scrapped.
Yeah.
I liked that movie. It's Salma Hayek in it. What did? Anyway, so we usually give scores 1 out of 10. I think the highest score. What was the highest score we've ever given? It was
9.5.
9.5 for No Way Home.
Yeah. I have it close with a specific movie. I've been very close with a specific movie.
So
But
I'm thinking of there's a couple movies that we've given. So 9.5 No Way Home. We gave Wakanda Forever like an 8.5. I think we gave Shang-Chi an 8.5 or a 9.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
When I left this movie, how did I feel compared to those movies? We gave Multiverse of Madness a 7.5.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably generous, little generous there.
I would say so. Yeah. I think we also gave Quantumania like a 7 when it's probably lower than that.
Sure. Yeah,
but
Widow 5.5.
Widow 5.5. Madam Web we gave like a 2.
Generous there too.
I don't want to just be that guy, but anything lower than a 9 is dumb as hell.
See, I would have gave it. I knew what we gave Shang-Chi at an 8.5, and I would give it an 8.5 because I think 8 is too low.
Yeah, and see, I personally would give Shang-Chi at least a 9 as well.
Sure.
I
think it had that same refreshing.
Yep.
This is new. This is cool.
Yep.
That Shang-Chi had.
Yep. The only reason No Way Home gets that like half a point more than all these other ones is because it literally was just like you gave us everything we wanted: nostalgia factor, humor, action,
cameos,
modern guys. It's what Secret Wars. You gave us the nerdgasm, and we're gonna be. It's like finally admitting, I do like Starbucks and pumpkin spice, like whatever.
Straight out of the comics too. Like Peter does go to Strange to have him do that spell.
Right.
He goes to Mephisto, I believe, and does that spell. But
you got a combat scene between Doctor Strange and Spider-Man. Like the reason that movie got such a good score is because like we're basic bitches, and that movie gave all the basic bitches what we wanted.
It's what we thought Multiverse of Madness.
Correct. That's why we thought Multiverse of Madness was going to be nuts, but it wasn't what we wanted.
Right. Yeah. Right.
I would say I agree. It was just as good or so as Shang-Chi. And I personally, Shang-Chi is one of my favorite superhero movies ever. This is right up there. This one is, I want to go watch it later. By the way, for me, there's one singular in terms of just superhero movies for me. There is only one that I would ever give a 10 out of 10. That would be Infinity War.
Yeah.
Infinity
War is so good.
It's like perfect. Correct. It's so perfect. I loved this movie. I would say, like, if you take out Infinity War, I could do the original Deadpool or Deadpool Wolverine, honestly, but like the original Deadpool, No Way Home, Shang-Chi, and Superman. I could give me those 4 on repeat, and I could never get sick of them.
Right.
It's right up there. I think giving this an 8.5 or a 9, totally fine. Fair. I think both are fair scores. I would give it a 9 personally, but I would also give Shang-Chi a 9. I know some people hear that and think it's ridiculous, but like it's so good. This movie is, again, might just be because of the emotion outside of the theater that it's giving, the need for a refresher like this. But man, it's hitting me right where I want. We were walking down the hall, and I wanted to watch that movie again.
Yeah, I very shortly after, I was like, man, I'd go see that again.
Yeah, sure. yeah. And Shang-Chi was the last movie in theaters I felt that exact. Like, I walked out and I wanted to watch it again. That was same thing here.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I didn't care that the credit scenes didn't mean much. There was no like futuristic hints.
You got that with the Kara scene.
Exactly.
Like you got that with the you know where we're going next, and that's Supergirl. So
yeah. Well, another long episode, but that's because we love superheroes and we can't stop talking about them. If you're still listening, thank you so much. The people that stick around this long, that's insane. We appreciate you so much, though. I want to let you all possible things looking a little different around here soon. Be a little bit more discoverable is the goal. But for those of you that are here, you're the most important people in the world to us. Want to let you know that you do look great today. GG.
GG.